Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Walking Dead mid-season finale video. A lot of crazy things happened, not in the way that I expected them to though. So in addition to everything going bananas, we need to talk about what's going to be happening next, as well as the big post-credits scene. It was really cool, but they actually used a lot of these things to disseminate a lot of information about the direction the show's going. Real quick reminder, in the grand tradition of mid-season finales, I'm doubling the giveaway, so all you have to do to enter that is be a subscriber and leave a comment, but I'll explain at the end of the video. Careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet, but starting with top 5 moments. Number 5, Rick runs down Agent Sitwell. There is a certain satisfaction in seeing Sitwell eat it one more time on another show. I'm sure the actor that plays him in real life is totally nice, but he is such a douchebag on screen. And with all the rape that was going around the hospital, you have to assume that he might have been in on some of that creepiness too. So good riddance to him. I just love the way they build the momentum with that car chase. Rick is like one of Ridley Scott's aliens, like he's right out of an Alien movie chasing down Sigourney Weaver, only the alien finally gets her this time. Seriously, didn't you just love the way they edited that, just jumping back and forth? Like you don't even see that it's him, you just see the knife slash the walker guts as he flies by. But the minute the car pulled into that alleyway, I knew, I was like, there's no way he is not going to hit him with that car. He finished the job with the gun. I would have rather seen him just do it with the car. I love the imagery in this episode between Rick revisiting his heritage as an officer of the law and these other cops at the hospital. In the last episode, he was actually giving off some of a Shane vibe. This episode, he seemed a little bit more reasonable. I think they just wanted to demarcate the hospital versus the survivors. Like they really wanted us to not like the hospital people. It would have been nicer if they had played it a little more ambiguously, like made Rick a little bit crazier and made the hospital people like slightly less rapey. Either way, Sitwell, may you rest in peace. You've done your job on another show. Now he can go Hail Hydra somewhere else. I'm giving 9 to 10 odds that if he shows up on another drama, he gets killed on that show too. Number 4, Beth and Dawn versus Rapey Pants Jr. Yes, that's right, there's more of them. So did anyone else see like this weird Dawn thing going on where like she was trying to ship herself with Beth and Beth just was not having any of it? Like she's like, hey, we are best friends. Let's share some booze. And let's kill Officer McRapey together. Seriously, how creepy are all the policemen there? I mean, they want them to seem unlikable, so I think that's why they included all this rape story. Like, they really wanted you to not like all these people, with the exception of Dawn. Like, they wanted her to be more on the fence. It did give Beth the opportunity to have that big win and finally push someone down the elevator shaft. I would have rather Beth push them both down, but then she would have had to explain to the other police officers who came running what happened. There were actually some really interesting things that we learned in Beth and Dawn's scenes. Dawn covered up Beth killing the first Officer McRapey. Like she cleaned the jar up and the body. So she isn't all bad, but she's very clearly delusional. She still thinks that there's rescue in sight. All these scenes though were just meant to humanize Dawn's character. Like up to this point, she seemed like super crazy and she seemed slightly less so after these scenes with Beth. Like they really wanted you to think about Rick whenever you were thinking about Dawn. Like these were two sides of the same coin. Just like the same deal with Shane like a long time ago. Until Shane went crazy. And of course, just like Shane, Dawn also went crazy. Number 3, Abraham's group comes back to the church. As predicted, Abraham's group finally met back up with the survivors. Not quite the way I expected, but it just means that they can all head to the next place together. And no, I don't think they're going straight to DC, but I do think that's going to come up. The map showed up at the end of the episode in the post-credits scene, so clearly that is a destination, but it might not be the next destination. It was a great way to come in too, like the way they just crashed into frame, literally. Just because of who Abraham is and his personality, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't trying to keep the walkers from getting out. Like he was just, I'm gonna park it here, and just happened to run over all those walkers. That would be so funny. He is so much fun when he's being like Dude Abraham. Crazy Abraham is fun too, but I feel like you can only have one really crazy person in the group at a time, and Rick is the crazy person right now. Although, given the events of the episode, Daryl might be the new crazy person. Maybe even Maggie too. Actually, you know what? Maggie's gonna take the crown. Maggie will be the crazy person for the next couple of episodes. She was kind of crazy to begin with, but in a fun way. Number 2, Morgan post-credits scene. So lots of information about Morgan in this scene. He is just behind the group, not super far behind. They didn't show a shot of the leg in the grill, but he was at the school. He basically followed in their footsteps. I like the little shrine that he put out. I felt like that was for his son. Like he was saying a little prayer for his son, and like that was part of his ritual. Like he wasn't going to eat that candy. What the map tells us is that he was not openly following Rick. He didn't know that they were still alive. But now that he does, he probably will. He'll probably end up in DC. So I'm guessing that we might not see him with the survivors till like the very end of season 5, if not the beginning of season 6. But I think that will happen. We will get that moment. I'm actually kind of hoping that before the end of the second half of the season, we actually get like a Morgan episode, just Morgan in an entire episode, but I don't know if that's in their budget. Like, they really only do that for like the most special characters, like for the governor before they killed him, and for Beth, ostensibly before they killed her. Maybe if we do get a Morgan episode, that means that he's gonna die too. That would really suck. Or maybe he's gonna be the Jesus character from the comics. Like, maybe they'll give him that storyline. Like, he'll show up and be a total badass. If people have read the comics, just use spoiler tags if you want to talk about Jesus. And my number one WTF moment, of course, Beth totally bites it. So of all the people that could have died in this episode, Beth was at the top of the list with Carol. I could have taken it either way. I felt like the way they edited things was a little confusing, like they skipped a couple moments, like Carol was just awake and lucid in that wheelchair, where she had been comatose moments before. They didn't really explain that too well. Beth must have just really jacked her up on meds. Or they must have been keeping her under. I know a lot of people are really happy to see Beth go, but here's the thing that we need to really talk about. Did Beth stab her knowing that Dawn would shoot her? Did Beth kind of commit suicide as a way to save Noah? I will say yes. I think that she did it on purpose. She knew that when she stabbed her with the scissors, she would get shot. Like, she would die. She's like, I get it now. I get that I have to get you to kill me so that Noah can leave. She talked about it earlier in the episode. Everyone uses everyone else. So Beth learned that she had to use Dawn to get what she wanted. And what she wanted was for Noah to be able to leave. I think that's what she meant when she said, I get it. But let me know, what was your favorite moment from the episode? And what do you think that Beth meant when she said, I get it? And are you happy that she died? That's actually the big question too. Are you happy that Beth is gone and it wasn't Carol? Full disclosure, I do feel like Carol was the more popular character. Overall, just in general, I gave the finale an A-. Not quite as good as the mid-season finale last year, but I didn't expect them to do the exact same thing. So I give them a high five for not trying to completely repeat it. The first thing that really comes to mind in this episode, aside from, someone really big dying, is the way they used the camera. First during Rick's chase at the beginning of the episode, and then second at the end of the episode with the Dutch angles. Like, there was a crazy amount of Dutch angles. For those that don't know, that's just when they tilt the camera. It just adds dramatic tension to the scene if you don't do it too much. If you do it too much, it gets a little comical. I felt like they kind of rode the line, like they almost did it a little too much. They just wanted to imply that it was like the classic gunslinger moment. But hats off to the cinematographers on Walking Dead for shooting an amazing chase scene and an amazing standoff. The show really does work like a classic Wild West story. I mean, think about it. Like, if you were in the Wild West, you could shoot someone and not get arrested. You could kill someone and not get arrested. Just because there's been so much speculation about Beth and Carol dying, her actually dying wasn't that much of a surprise. So most of my attention was on the way they used the camera. I wasn't super connected with the Beth character. Emily Kinney, I thought, did a pretty good job for the way she went out. Like, she did get a couple really good hero moments. I feel like they didn't give her character that much to do in the last couple of seasons, so you can't totally blame her if you felt her character wasn't that likable. I saw a couple critics talking about something that they called Walking Dead's problem with women. It had to do with the female characters for the first couple of seasons, until they kind of figured Carol out and she became the first of what is now like a group of really badass women. Like, look at Sasha, Maggie, Carol. All of them could probably fend for themselves, like just as well as any of the men on the show. It just really makes things that much more interesting when none of the characters are visibly incredibly weak. I mean, everyone's kind of breaking down inside. Emotionally, everyone's probably like a 5-year-old child. Carl is like the voice of reason now, which actually means he's probably next on the hit list. It's like once you gain wisdom on the show, like you're marked for death. Beth gained wisdom. I get it now. Bam, she's dead. That should be like the survival tip for Walking Dead. Like, if you want to survive, just be dumb. As much as went down at the church, I felt like this episode belonged to Rick and Beth, and they were definitely on their A game. Like, if the episode hadn't been quite so uneven, I would have given it a solid A. There's just like no way that they're going to be able to match that prison battle from last season though. And if you give that an A, then you have to give this like slightly less than that. So that's why I gave it an A-. On to next season though, or the second half of the season. Very clearly, they're just hitting the road. Like, it is going to be a back half of the season on the road, going from place to place. Although there is a certain place that supposedly Robert Kirkman spoiled a long time ago. They're going to change the name. So it's from the comics. If you have read them, just please use spoiler tags if you want to talk about it. I think there'll be at least one big place before they get to Washington, D.C. at the end. And I think that that's where they'll go, where that map was going to take them anyway. All in all, great episode. But here's the details on the giveaway. So it's just basically a $20 Amazon gift card. But because it's the finale, I'm doubling it. So I'm going to give away 2 Amazon gift cards. Remember, all you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment. I'll announce the winners in my Q&A tomorrow. So be sure to subscribe to get everything. And I will be doing a top 10 moments from the first half of the season. I'll do that in at least by Tuesday, probably. There's actually some really exciting stuff happening on TV this week. So big Flash Arrow crossover, more Walking Dead bonus videos coming. So, and feel free to leave requests too for bonus videos for Walking Dead. It's coming back February 8th, so it's not going to be gone that long. And in case you haven't seen them yet, I have new mobile links up here. If you're watching on your mobile phone, it's the same as the links that I had over here. But you can click here for the Q&A that I'll post tomorrow. I'll be announcing the giveaway winners then. And you can click here for my top 10 moments from the first half of the season. I'll post that in a couple days. Until then, I'll point it to the Star Wars trailer, but I'll add the link in a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. So let's all high five, rewatch the episode maybe like 10, 16 times.